The program, let us all rise for the singing of the national anthem. You may now all take your seat.
Ayan, para sa mga bago natin, you can settle down. May mga seats pa tayo, vacant seats pa tayo na nasa gitna. Please fill up yung vacancy sa gitna before tayo pumunta dun sa left or right side ng auditorium. Ayan, so good morning everyone. Medyo mahina. Good morning everyone. Ayan, so my name is Brian.
And my name is Shella, and we welcome you to Disinformation and Online Threats to Press Freedom and Democracy. That's right, no, Brian? Ngayon alam na natin kung ano nga ba ang magiging forum natin. Given the title, ano nga ba ang may expect natin for this forum?
And Shelo, yung sa words pa lang sa title natin, disinformation, press freedom, democracy. So, mako-connect kaagad natin siya sa proliferation ng fake news, misinformation, and disinformation online. Words na palagi natin nakikita sa news nowadays, parang nagiging mundane and everyday thing na siya sa atin. Because everyday, parang hindi yata nawawalan ng balita about sa fake news. Ayan. So, also, this forum aims to answer questions like, ano nga ba yung magagawa ng ordinary citizen to combat yung spread ng fake news, ano?
Yes, and dun nga sa pag-combat natin no, ng fake news and misinformation, Brian, nandyan yung dapat alam natin as ordinary citizens, as youth, as part of the youth, alam natin kung paano nga ba natin sila patitigilin sa pag-spread sa social media.
That's right. I guess yung saying na prevention is better than cure is really applicable here. So parang before pa magkaroon ng further spread ng fake news, let us prevent it, di ba? So you can do that by using the hashtag, asking questions on Twitter, using the hashtag FactsMatterPH_Laguna to join the discussion.
Yes, that's right, Brian. And also, if you have friends here na wala pa, you can invite them to watch our live stream online na nasa Facebook, nasa YouTube, and nasa Rappler.com.
Ayan, so pero Shelo, considering na this is about social media, yung proliferation nga ng fake news on social media, digital media, ganyan. So, di ba may debacle ngayon about sa digital age, ganyan, and information age, ganito. So, what is your take on this, Shelo?
Actually, with the advent of technology, di ba, lahat na nagiging digital eh. Nagagawa natin lahat with such convenience, with ease. And tayo naman din, di ba, Brian, we can attest na lahat na actually parang ginagawa na natin sa media, sa social media. Like, we can communicate with our friends, we can actually do our homeworks, or minsan yung mga ACAD works natin, nakasentro na rin sa social media. So basically, everything and anything can be found on social media na eh.
Ayan, so, pero may mga nagsasabi na today is not the digital age anymore. Today is the information age. So parang in this economy, our primary commodity is information, ganyan. So parang very relevant yung forum natin today kung ganun yung kung itong information age yung pinag-uusapan natin. Kasi kung information yung pangunahing kinoconsume ng mga tao, alam mo, pag fake news siya, pag magkakaroon ng misinformation, ang laki ng magiging effect niya, di ba? So, Shelo, alam mo ba, and para sa audience rin natin, na around the world, we have 2 billion users of Facebook. Ayan, so parang hindi sila na-amaze.
Oo nga.
Ayan, so on Twitter naman, we have 330 million active users as of 2017. Pero, one of the Facebook officials clearly admitted na a personal data of 87 million users, including some 1.2 million users na Filipinos, ay ginagamit sa parang sinishare nila sa ibang companies, no? Parang ito kasi personal information. So parang may threat nga dun sa privacy na sinasabi natin.
And given that statistics now, Brian, why don't we ask our audience right now, sino nga ba sa kanila ang merong mga social media accounts? Okay, guys? So kung meron man kayong mga social media accounts na to, please raise your hands. Proud and high. So guys, sino sa inyo ang may Facebook account?
Ayan. So part kayo ng 2 billion users worldwide.
Yes. How about sino naman dito may Twitter account?
Ayan. So sila yung part ng 330 million.
Useful talaga na statistics mo, Brian. How about Instagram? Sino naman? Alright, ang dami pa rin nagtataas ng kamay. So dito pa lang, no, Brian, evident na agad na kahit tayong nasa UPLB, ay users na ng social media sites. And as you've said earlier, na kung ano man ang nakikita natin dito, it shapes actually how we perceive things. It shapes public opinion. Kaya mahalaga na kung ano yung umiikot sa social media, dapat regulated siya and tama talaga siya.
And so we've been talking about fake news, disinformation, ganyan. Pero I'd like to know, Shelo, have you had any personal experience na mabiktima ka ng fake news, ganyan, or misinformation online?
Yes, actually. Hindi naman kasi, di ba nga, with the proliferation of fake news and misinformation, minsan kahit tayo, mga estudyante na alam natin na dapat tayong umiwas sa fake news, nagiging biktima rin dito. And siguro, for me, ang pinaka-recent ay yung kapag kunyari may konting ulan dito sa LB, na konting ulan lang, kala natin bagyo, ganyan. Tapos maghihintay tayo ng announcement. Tapos, ay, nakita natin walang pasok announcement. Pero it turns out 2 years ago. So, dun pa lang sa mga ganong examples, Brian, actually, hindi natin siya masasabing shallow or grave na example. But then, yun pa lang sa example na yun, it's an example of fake news na.
And so, feeling ko naging biktima rin ako niya na yung share ng post 2 years ago or 1 year ago, tapos ako naniniwala naman ako without checking yung date talaga kung kailan siya na-post. Again, so, ako naman, parang hindi naman siya personal experience talaga, pero have heard lang talaga to na yung pagbibili ng gamit online, na merong mga nasa scam pa rin. So parang, I think, part din siya doon, no? Disinformation and misinformation din, ano?
That's why, Brian, kaya ngayon we are fortunate enough to have this forum, which is organized by Rappler and Journalism for Nation Building Foundation in partnership with Department of Social Sciences and Department of Development Journalism.
I guess, since parang mukhang excited ba kayo? Excited? Parang feeling ko napilitan sila dun sa question ko.
Yes, early morning kasi.
Ayan. So, since excited na sila, huwag natin patagalin. To officially welcome you to our program, may we call on the Chair of the UPLB CAS Department of Social Sciences, Professor Dwight Jestro. A round of applause, please.
Distinguished guests, students, colleagues in the university, ladies and gentlemen, I am of the position that the social sciences discover, create, and practice truth, but in dialogue, in exchange, in conversation with others. So the keywords of this morning's forum are the following: disinformation, online, threats, press, freedom, democracy. I think we have this morning a very difficult task, because what is valid, what is fake, what is true is going to be the main considerations in today's exchange of ideas. My field is in history, and based on what I can read from our literature, we are the new priests and priestesses, because history somehow defines what is true. But I think that's only half of the picture, because we don't exist in a vacuum. Those people who don't agree with us, there should be an engagement with these sectors. Our department was founded in April of 1973. Our BA Sociology program was approved by the UP President in April of 1975. And the 1970s, as a decade, has its own unique characteristics. Because there was a person who said the truth was embodied by him. There were so many ramifications to our society, to our politics, to our economics, to our very being. And up to now, he claims to be the embodiment of the Filipino. In his tombstone, Filipino is written out. There was only one person that I know who said he was Filipino, and that was Jose Rizal. Sometime in 1892, there was an article that he wrote, because he was fighting for the rights of the Calamba tenants. He said in that article that he was representing the Filipino. So today's gathering of ours, it has a context. What is or who is Filipino? In all of the quest regarding what is valid, what is rational, what is worth sharing. So I imagine the resource persons, our distinguished guests from Rappler, to really enunciate to us this important conversation about the very being of the social sciences, the way we know it, or the way we aspire it to become. So I wish everyone an insightful morning. This is a collaboration between two units of the university. So this is a practice of dialogue and exchange. We shouldn't forget that there are people who are not in our loop. We do not claim to be superior, or we do not claim to be mere recipients of the information we are getting. We should just be reminded to employ what is quite fundamental. The relativity that you have is the truth that you should share, but you're open to the fact that knowledge is evolving, and we should evolve together with others so that there will be greater democracy, there will be greater freedom in all of us. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Professor Dwight Jestro.
And again, para sa mga taong wala dito, yung friends, relatives na wala dito, you can tell them kung gusto nila manood, we are live on Rappler Facebook, Rappler YouTube, and Rappler.com. Doon tayo sa front page ng Rappler, ano? And kung masyadong malaki yung data na mako-consume ng panonood ng live stream natin, you can monitor what's happening. Just search the hashtag FactsMatterPH space Laguna on Twitter. You can ask questions there and join the discussion.
Again, this forum is organized by Rappler and Journalism for Nation Building Foundation in partnership with Department of Social Sciences and Department of Development Journalism.
Ayan, so Shiloh, sabi natin kanina, wag natin patagalin yung forum na to, ano? Pero ay yung introduction natin para makapag-proceed na tayo kagad dun sa forum proper natin. So, I guess we should proceed sa first part ng ating forum entitled Fake News and Other Threats to Press Freedom. We have one of the Philippines' most seasoned journalists. For close to a decade, she edited Newsbreak magazine, a trailblazer in Philippine investigative journalism. Her recent book, entitled Shadow of Doubt, Probing the Supreme Court, which exposed critical weaknesses in the country's highest court, has become a bestseller. She currently heads the Journalism for Nation Building Foundation, a spin-off of Newsbreak, and the foundation will continue to do public interest journalism mainly through books and special reports. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome with a round of applause the editor-at-large of Rappler, Ma'am Marites Vitug.
Good morning to everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here among millennials and not so millennials. Thank you, Professor Diestro, for your very thoughtful introduction. This morning, I'm going to give a bit of historical context, maybe to the difference between what's happening today and what happened when I was just starting out as a journalist. Now you can guess my age, in the dying years of martial law. So that was in the early 1980s. So the first slide, please. So nung journalist ako, it was already in the early 80s. So patapos na yung years, the last years of martial law. And at that time, as a journalist, the enemy was very clear. The threat to press freedom was very clear. Isa lang yon. That was the entire regime, the dictatorial regime of President Marcos and his wife Imelda. So the rules were clear. There was state censorship. We were not supposed to write critical stories about the president, the first lady, the military, and the government as a whole. So napakalinaw. And opposition leaders when martial law was declared in early 70s, they were sent to jail. Activists, including journalists, were also jailed. They shut down newspapers and TV and radio networks, radio and print. So as I said earlier, napakalinaw where the lines were drawn, and our world then literally was black and white. We were the journalists, we were under siege, the enemy was the state. And then 1983 happened. 1983, if you remember, was when Ninoy Aquino was assassinated in broad daylight when he was coming back to the Philippines. And things changed in 1983. I was already a journalist then. The international community started to look at the Philippines. For a long time, wala tayo sa agenda ng mga international, ng other countries. The US, which was backing Marcos, started to distance. So nagkaroon ng space ang media after the assassination of Ninoy. There was a lot of protest, and the mosquito press, in quotes, was born. Mosquito dahil maingay, it keeps buzzing in your ear, nakakairita. That was what Marcos called the alternative press. So I was part of a newspaper which was in between. Business Day, we were independent, but we did analytical pieces on the Marcos dictatorship, but my newspaper was considered small. They catered only to, the elite, the business community. So hindi kami masyadong pinansin ni Marcos. And during this time, there was a phrase we used often, Xerox journalism. We would Xerox news reports from US or European newspapers, and distribute them around and read them avidly. Kasi nga, walang limited yung freedoms in the Philippines. If you could imagine, there was no internet then, so it was just print. So fast forward to today, how the times have changed. Now we are in a democracy. We have been in a democracy since '86. We have the trappings of a democracy, free elections, ostensibly free media. The country is not under martial rule, but Mindanao is. Yet, how come the media are under siege today? Yet, how come threats are abound in the media, against the media today? And threats have returned, but no longer in the single big enemy we had before, but in different forms. So, next slide. So now what we're seeing is a decline of democracy. After being relatively free since '86, we seem to be losing our grip on democracy. So I'm just outlining three of the bigger factors kung bakit nag-i-slide tayo away from democracy. We have what we consider an autocratic president. I'll discuss each of these in detail later. And we have now a very palpable, you can feel it, a polarized public. We are so divided. And third, disinformation empowered by digital technology. My partner in crime, Stacy, will talk more about this later. She's also with Rappler. So why do we say that the president is an autocrat? Left slide. He wants to seize control of all branches of government. As of now, he is in full control of the executive department and the House of Representatives where his allies dominate, particularly the lower house. And then he has also a substantial control over the Supreme Court. He has appointed so far 3 justices, but is about to appoint 8 to 10 more. So out of the 15 justices, 13, I think, will be Duterte appointees. And as we speak, the impeachment or the quo warranto case versus the Chief Justice is also a strong message from Duterte that he will not tolerate dissent in the judiciary. So there's this attempt to control an independent branch of government. And then if we remember, he attempted to suspend the deputy ombudsman. The office of the ombudsman is an independent body. It is not under the supervision of the president. He also threatened the Commission on Human Rights, and again, if you remember, his allies in Congress tried to slash the budget of the CHR to almost zero. And early in his term, he sent to jail, he using the state agency, sent to jail his most vocal opponent, Senator Laila de Lima, and recently sedition charges were filed against now the most vocal opponent in the Senate, Sani Trillanes. So these are signs of a strong desire to control all branches of government. Next slide. Aside from that, now we are feeling threats to media. I've been a journalist for more than 30 years, and after martial law, we've not had these threats in a long time. So now they're back, but as I said earlier, in a more sophisticated manner. So the president likes to intimidate the owners of media organizations like ABS, Rappler, and Inquirer. Remember, Duterte said he will file plunder charges against the Inquirer. It is unclear on what grounds because plunder is usually for public officials. But ABS-CBN, he vowed to stop or block the renewal of the franchise of the TV network, which expires in 2020. And Duterte steps down 2 years later in 2022. Galit na galit si Duterte kasi sabi niya, ABS-CBN did not air his election ads, which already had been paid for. And I think also because early on, ABS-CBN was reporting dutifully on the war on drugs. Aside from intimidating owners, that's a real vulnerable point. Kasi maybe you've learned this or you've read about this. Most of the owners of big media in the Philippines have other businesses. Kaya vulnerable. Vulnerable sila, as you will see later. Doon naman sa pag-intimidate sa reporters, again, early on, remember that Duterte was very angry at this Davao-based reporter who asked him about his health. And when the president said, yes, I'm fine, and he followed up and said, Mr. President, would you have a copy or can you give us your medical or health certificate? So Duterte was very upset. This was right after he was elected and hindi pa siya nag-take ng oath, but he was already the president-elect. So in the rally, in his victory rally in Davao, he was so upset that he named the Davao reporter, nagkamali pa sa pangalan, and then he said, what if I were to ask that reporter a question about his wife? And he said, what if I asked this reporter how his wife's vagina was? So that was carried online, on TV, and printed as well. Fast forward, the most recent case is that of our very own Pia Ranada, of Rappler. She was banned from Malacanang. And we thought initially it was just banned from covering Malacanang. It has been expanded since then to ban her from any event wherein the president speaks, be it in Manila or other parts of the country. Again, to put this in context, this is the first time post-Marcos that a reporter has been banned from Malacanang. This is a first, a historic first. The past presidents also, of course, had issues with the press, but they never banned reporters from covering them. Nagagalit sila, they give statements, but they would always keep the lines open. And it was not because Pia reported on something that made him angry. It was because Rappler did a series of reports on which involved his close aide, Bongo. Another threat is the filing of cyber libel case against Rappler. This should be part of the hazards of the trade. However, the case was only filed recently over a story written in 2012, 6 years ago, and months before the cyber libel bill became law. So wala pang cyber libel law nung nasulat yung article na yon, but still, the Justice Department, I think, encouraged this move against Rappler. So that's intimidating owners, intimidating the reporters, and then this one is relatively new, I think, the use of government agencies to go after media organizations. Again, nung time ni Marcos, very clear, shut down, rules on censorship, go to jail. This one, it's trying to kill the media organizations slowly and maybe softly. For example, the Bureau of Internal Revenue has filed 2 tax evasion cases against 2 media organizations. Yung una, yung Inquirer, particularly the owners, the Prieto family. Again, as I said earlier, owners of big media are not purely into media. Part of the Prieto family own the Philippine chain of Dunkin' Donuts. So the BIR has charged the Philippine franchise of Dunkin' Donuts, partly owned by Prietos, for not paying over 1 billion pesos in taxes in 2007. So many years ago. That's the case filed against them. That's a lot of money and very heavy pressure on the Prietos. In the case of Rappler, BIR also charged. Now, we have a pending case, and BIR says that Rappler hasn't paid 133 million pesos in taxes. Of course, this is seen as harassment because, in fact, Rappler was one of the top tax-paying organizations in the National Capital Region. So that's the use of the BIR. Second is the Securities and Exchange Commission, a regulatory body, ordered the shutdown of Rappler. Ito medyo abrupt. because the SEC did not give Rappler a few months. If ever man may time to fix the papers, hindi binigyan yung Rappler ng kahit 6 months, which the SEC gave to PLDT in a similar case. It gave them a year to fix their papers. So nakikita natin na there are now sophisticated ways of crippling news organizations. So the next slide. But, I don't know if this is any comfort, but the Philippines is not alone. We see other countries using these tactics or practices. Sa neighborhood natin, Cambodia and Myanmar. In 2017, the Cambodia Daily, a newspaper which is critical of Prime Minister Hun Sen, was shut down after it was charged with evading taxes. Same story, $6.3 million, and they were given only a short deadline to pay it. So, nangyari na yan sa ating neighbor. In Myanmar, as a different case, 2 reporters of Reuters were detained last year after they were investigating the killings of Rohingya Muslims. So far, sana hindi mangyari, wala pa namang detained journalists. I'm sure, I hope I'm correct, here in the Philippines. And then, elsewhere in the world, outside Southeast Asia, sa Turkey naman, the tax ministry imposed a $2.5 billion fine for alleged tax evasion on a media conglomerate whose reports were critical of President Erdogan. So ngayon, the owner of this conglomerate was forced to sell to the loyalists of Erdogan. Does this sound familiar? Because the Inquirer is currently negotiating its sale to Ramon Ang, majority owner of San Miguel and an ally of the president. Sa Russia din, the same thing. Putin unleashed the tax authorities on the owner of an independent TV network. As a result, the owner sold his media network to a government-owned company. Maybe, I was just thinking, maybe they share best or worst practices, all these strongmen. In the US, Donald Trump is going after Amazon, which is owned by Jeff Bezos. Why? Because Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post, which has been critical of Trump. The cause of Trump is Amazon's tax evasion. So nakikita natin that this playbook is shared by different strongmen. Now, a few words on the polarized public. Remember when Facebook was new and we saw it as a force for good, we praised it. This is a platform where everyone seems equal. We can, it makes the world smaller. We can easily communicate. But the downside, as we're seeing now, ang binanggit nga ng ating hosts, is that our lack of privacy, nagagamit yung data natin. But here's the other very pernicious thing about Facebook. It made us live in small bubbles. Kanya-kanya tayo ng maliliit na mundo. Why? Because we have our own news feed. This word is very appropriate. You are fed news which you like because of our, when we press the like button, similar news and features will be fed to our news. So based on our choices and our likes, only opinions or news that we like come to our news feed. Ngayon, nung 2016 elections, we actually saw this play out. But it turned for the worse when disinformation became rampant. Ito na yung nagkaroon ng false claims. Facebook was used to spread false claims, to sow anger and hatred. Yung examples, you remember in 2016 that there was a claim that Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong endorsed Duterte's candidacy and that Pope Francis praised and endorsed Duterte. So these were all denied. But these are just samples of how Facebook was used for this information. The next slide. So, oh, sorry, yun na pala yun. Anyway, the next. So shall we attempt a definition of this information? ang disinformation kasi is deliberate. There is intent to mislead. It gives false information or wrong information to harm the public. So there's the element of harm, which is very important. So this is not just an accidental error or an honest mistake. This information is deliberate. It is calculated to create division, to sow fear, so that in the end, who benefits? The government or the rulers. But here's what the European Commission, tightly defined it, and it's very helpful. It refers to all forms of false, inaccurate, or misleading information designed, presented, and promoted to intentionally cause public harm or for profit. Later we can discuss that a bit, or for profit. And the risk of harm includes threats to democratic political processes and to our democratic values. So what we think is disinformation or fake news really harms our core values. It is driven by economic gains or for political or ideological goals. And a recent study by two academics, Jonathan Corpus-Ong, the next slide please. Jonathan Corpus-Ong and Jason Cabanes, it shows, they went to the digital underground and they studied the lead up to the 2016 elections, and they found out that people behind this information, the strategists, the architects, are highly paid professionals in advertising boutiques, agencies, or small advertising boutiques. So why do they do this? Because of the money, for profit. And you know what? They are not named, so they remain unaccountable. So they can do this without being exposed. The study said that these professionals use the tools of their trade to boost their political clients because they have experience in launching brands, in building brands for celebrities, in launching Facebook pages, etc. So ginamit nila yung professional tools of the trade to sow this information. So very interesting study. You can find it on the web. And so the two authors say that these people's skills are for sale. So dapat ma-expose so they can be made accountable. So ngayon, makikita natin yung disinformation during the campaign, election campaign, patuloy hanggang today, and they attack political personalities. The tone is very angry. Parang, I don't know, there's so much anger, and it appeals to emotion. So I see a toxic cocktail of deception, manipulation, and emotion. Next slide. So I asked a professor of UP College of Mass Communication, what is it that polarizes us, an already polarized public? And she says it's the appeal to the emotions. Because Professor David said we can disagree without being polarized, but the success of the disinformation campaign is in their use of emotions to move the public towards extremist positions. So parang ginagawang new normal yung attacks to vilify others. So new normal yung threats. Parang everything is so emotional at this point. No? So the next slide. But let us not forget that a primary source of this information is the office of the president. So noong una pa ito, this was in the beginning of his term, that you can check it out with Rappler and Verifiles. Both news organizations have done a number of fact-checking, and now also GMA7 with Joseph Morong. Watch his very interesting online shows, videos online, also on fact-checks public officials. But I think kasi nagkaroon na tayo ng phenomenon in 2016 called post-truth. Remember the favorite word of Oxford, word of the year ng Oxford in 2016 is post-truth, meaning We are living in a world where politics has reached the post-truth stage, where facts are less influential than appeals to emotion. So nawawala yung high regard for facts. For example, ay hindi pa, yan pa. For example, if you remember the war on drugs, sabi ni President Duterte, there are 3 to 4 million drug users in the Philippines. So we kept going with that. But where's the source? Sabi niya, nanggaling to sa former head of PIDEA, a former head many, many years ago. So ngayon, nag-survey ang Dangerous Drugs Board, which is the policy-making body, which is under the Office of the President. Nag-scientific survey sila in 2016. It showed there are only 1.8 million current users. Ito pa yung definition nila, individuals who are currently or having used illegal drugs more than once from January 2015 until February 2016. So 1.8% of our population. Why is it important to have the right statistics? Because you plan policy, you plan programs based on statistics, based on facts. So, pero nagalit si Duterte, he fired the chair of the Dangerous Drugs Board. Another example, Iloilo daw, baka may taga Iloilo dito, is the most shabulized province. Sinabi niya yon. Ngayon, nag-fact check naman ang Vera Files. They saw of the 81 provinces and 27 cities listed by PIDEA in January to August 2016, Iloilo province ranked only 79th in terms of the number of drug-affected barangays per province. And the city ranked 51st. So ang layo, hindi pala most shabulized. And the top 10 cities with the highest number of drug-affected barangays are in the National Capital Region. Another example, on the late Ferdinand Marcos, sabi ni President Duterte, wala kasing study or movie that conclusively assess those years, those 20+ years. So sabi niya, all these charges against Marcos remain to be allegations. So of course, maraming nag-react online, on the media, showing that Ateneo gave a statement saying they have at least 17 books on the Marcos era that it published, and several students, professors, filmmakers listed the films and documentaries depicting life during the martial law years. So makikita natin very loose ang regard for facts. So those are examples, and I'm sure there are more you can find, no? In the next slide. Another person from the Office of the President who dishes out fake news, and I am sincerely convinced that she contributes to the polarization of the country. Remember that Mocha Uson shared a photo of a 9-year-old girl who was raped and murdered, claiming that this girl was a victim of criminals, and then she mocked human rights advocates. Sabi niya, why do you keep criticizing the president and you're even keeping silent on this grisly crime? The problem is the photo was taken in Brazil, not the Philippines. So unang-una pa lang yan. I don't think she was in government yet at that time. But when she was in government, she shared a photograph of men in uniform, soldiers kneeling in prayer. You must have seen this. She wanted to gather, have moral support for our soldiers in Marawi. Guess what? The photo was taken in Honduras. So we have to be very careful. And recently yung nagulat ako dito, kasi she conducted an online poll nung 30+ year anniversary ng EDSA, and she asked, is EDSA, the First People Power, a product of fake news? So Harry Roque, at least the president's spokesman, corrected this, saying there is a law honoring this event. So sometimes it's very disturbing, sometimes it's very shocking that these things are happening today. So what can we do? We're not helpless, actually, and I think you'll learn more about this today and in the afternoon workshop. The last slide. So sabi nga nitong host natin kanina, let's not jump into sharing kaagad. Just have to check. Madali namang mag-check sa Google. Check the website. Sometimes it's just a matter of the spelling of the name of the website. You can easily check. So verify, verify, verify. Lagi. Be careful. And of course, don't share fake news. And like this morning, it's good for the students to work with media organizations, to work with teachers. You can reach out to civil society organizations, get together and promote awareness on disinformation. Maganda yung make coalition of sorts, be it informal. And another thing we can do is if you listen or if you know of public officials who talk in a heated rhetoric or masyadong polarizing yung statements or masyadong, if you are not with me, you're against me, if those kinds of statements, I think you should write them or message them and let them know that their rhetoric is polarizing and is not good for our society and for our nation. So, marami tayong magagawa, and I think this is a good start, or maybe you have started already, to work with other groups and promote awareness on disinformation. So on that note, I conclude my talk and I welcome my partner in crime.
Thank you once again, Ms. Marites Bitug, for that informative talk. So, isa sa mga highlight, no, Brian, na natutunan ko kay Ms. Marites is, kagaya niya, maraming tao na nagsusulong na mag-fact check talaga tayo before we conclude things, before we assume things. And dun nga sa nasabi niya kanina, because she is a journalist, during pa lang dun sa martial law era, and I remember, no, na during that era na ang daming naban na media outlets such as yung sa newspapers, dun sa radio, and now, di ba, Miss Pia, yung isa sa mga journalists na naban from Malacanang, I get to ask myself, do we ever learn from the past? Or is the past becoming a reality now? And that is a question na kailangan nating sagutin kasi right now in the Duterte administration, we can see rin na there are journalists being banned and it's a threat to press freedom.
Ayun, Shelo, what's even more frightening, yung intent dun sa disinformation na to cause public harm, na hindi to by accident. This is intentional talaga. So, na mas nakakatakot para sa ordinary citizens to, So, yan. So, you can tweet and join the discussion on Twitter. Just use the hashtag FactsMatterPH. And for those viewers na unfortunately cannot join us today here in the NCAS auditorium, they can catch the live stream of the event on Rappler Facebook and YouTube and in the front page of Rappler.com. So I guess we can proceed to our second speaker for today's forum, Shelo.
Yes. So our next speaker is actually the youngest member of Rappler's core team, a pioneer in the field. This 20-something, ano kaya yung 20-something na yon, heads the community department of Rappler, also social media accounts that she helped develop and established, mostly related to news, are now a few of the most recognizable brands in the Philippines for trailblazing practices now considered a norm for news outlets. Guys, let us welcome the unit head of digital communications and Move PH Rappler. Let us all welcome Ms. Stacy De Jesus.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm often being asked, I've been in the industry for like 8 years now. I know I look young, but I've been in the industry for 8 years now. And I'm often used to, talking about social media for social good. But since late last year, this is the only topic that I've been asked to talk about. And because it's such a big issue, I don't need to remind you guys, before I actually go into the details, to the dark web of social media, I don't need to remind you guys about the power of it, right? you guys are here precisely because you know that there's a huge problem right now with the spread of misinformation, disinformation, and fake news, and even propaganda to manipulate people. But you know also that, there's a, you know, social media can actually do social good. It can affect policies, and we've seen this several times. It can help save lives. It can contribute to the emergence of a revolution, Arab Spring. It can one Facebook post can actually gather hundreds and thousands of people in one venue, the Million People March, and it can actually get a president elected, Duterte. That he is actually considered as the first social media president in the Philippines. So, I usually we hear about disinformation and we say, we label everything, fake news, troll, right? That's what we do. But it's actually a bit more sophisticated than that. And this is what precisely I'm going to be sharing with you today. Sometimes I go all nerdy about this, but I'll try to explain it as, as simple as I can. First slide. So, in misinformation and the spread of propaganda, there are different elements being used, and I categorize them into 4. So there's the bot, the fake account, those are different, and then there's the troll, another different thing, and fake news or disinformation or misinformation. Miss Marites already defined disinformation and misinformation earlier. If you remember, misinformation is yung basically hindi sinasadya, inadvertent. Pero yung disinformation, yun talaga nananadya na mangharm or mangloko. Okay, let's go first into bot. A bot is a program written to give an automated response. Next slide. Let me show you an example. Because this is machine-driven, it can actually create thousands of posts per minute. And we know naman that, a lie repeated several times, amplified, can become true for some people, lalo na if it's not debunked, right? So, this is an example of a bot activity. In 2013, we were monitoring a campaign by Smart because we were partners with them. So MVP, Manny Pangilinan, basically announced 30 MB free data at that time. Big deal no time na yon. So they released a campaign on social media called #SmartFreeInternet. And if you remember their tagline at that time, it was Live More. Yes, you remember? Live More. So, what the bots did was they basically automatically messaged everyone tweeting with the #SmartFreeInternet, making it sound like they're real people with real sentiment. And if you look at the map, because we can actually map the conversations using the hashtag, it's very predictable how because one dot that you see on that screen is one Twitter user. And the connections and the links between them is how they are close with each other or their activity with each other. So if you see, Smart was actually taken out of the conversation. And that makes sense because Smart basically, they broadcast. They tell you that they announce, but they don't really interact about it at that time with the Smart Free Internet. So gets nyo? Nakikipag-usap lang sila. But then people who actually tweet with Smart Free Internet and then bots replying to them, that becomes a conversation. So we see the connection. And then we see that it's, we can actually see the bot behaviors in those circles. And napagitnaan nila yung real people tweeting #SmartFreeInternet. Next slide, I'll show you. So, the frequency of the posts, the red one is, I believe, #SmartFreeInternet, but the blue one is #LieMore and LieMore pa. So that was what the bots were using to reply with to people using #SmartFreeInternet. And they basically not only successfully pulled the publisher out of the conversation or pushed the publisher out of the conversation and isolated them, but also natalo din nila in terms of frequency. And what they do is basically, for example, I found this fake bot account. Her name was @ClaireAmweg. And what she said was, oo nga, smart talaga, steals from us. Taglish pa siya. And then someone noticed that she may or may not be a bot. So nag-test siya. Sabi niya, test, #smartfreeinternet. She just did an experiment. And automatically, another person tweeted her something of that same sentiment. So you give a bot an automated response, pwede yung 100 na different kinds of responses, and then automatically reply niya yon sa tao na gusto mong replyan niya. Okay, that's what a bot is. Next slide. Fake accounts. So these are different naman. Sometimes kasi we forget, we label everyone, you're a troll, you're a fake account, you're bot, but kailangan natin ma-identify so we actually know how to distinguish, right? So first, the fake accounts. This is what we call when we discover them. We called several, so we usually do data analysis and calling on Rappler. So we found what we call sock puppets. And basically, these are just some of them. Marami yan eh, mga 60 accounts sila in one data gathering namin. And what we noticed was that what they use are faces of like pretty women, maybe because it's easy to add women or girls or beautiful girls on Facebook. And then they all have scenic photos on their cover photos. And they contain basically half-truths in their Facebook account, Facebook profile. I'll tell more about that later. Tapos, we also noticed that they like common pages. Like, I think it's Okay Dito, D2, and Ask Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. Yun yung mga common page, but they do not interact with each other. What these accounts do is that they go into groups and pages and comment. Comment nonstop and then spread mga links to websites, etc. And then they have about, some of them kasi the pretty faces, 500 friends, some of them have 30, some of them have hidden their number of friends. So it's really hard to tell unless you see the behavior of their public posts, which we can see on the back end if we actually do the data gathering. Next slide. So this, for example, before Rappler, 8 years ago, I was with GMA. And while I was working with GMA News, I encountered this girl named Ana Rodrigo. And when I saw a viral post about an Ana Nicole Rodrigo, she basically wrote an open letter supposedly in showing support to the Marcoses, tapos and Duterte. So it was super viral that it actually made me, try to look more into her. And the name sounded familiar, and I said, parang I worked with this person before, maybe just an email correspondence or something. And because the profile says she works at GMA Network, and she's from Bacoor, Cavite, and she actually studies in UPLB daw. That's what, if I'm not mistaken, her profile says. Let me check. Okay, I cropped it, never mind. But I think she said she studied at UP, and she's from Cavite originally. Now, when I asked Ana Rodrigo, I know Ana Rodrigo, and then, so her face, it's not the face of the Ana Nicole Rodrigo there. So it's half-truths because she used the name of Ana Rodrigo, and that Ana Rodrigo works for GMA, but that's not her face, that's not her name, she's not from Cavite, etc. So if someone actually saw that viral letter and searched for Ana Rodrigo GMA, someone would find something, someone would find the file and make it seem like, oh, immediately, quickly, this is a real person. So if you actually did not dig deeper into it and maybe know Ana Rodrigo, you would never find out. You would never know that she's a fake account. Next slide. Trolls are my favorite. Trolls, they're basically cyberbullies. They live to torment. They want to, some of them are real accounts because let's face it, some people really want to, gusto lang talaga mang troll eh. Just really want to annoy people. But there are also trolls that can get paid up to 100,000 per month just doing this. So, this is an example. During the campaign period in 2016, one voter expressed her, she ranted basically against the then presidential candidate, Rodrigo Duterte, which as a citizen of this country is her right, diba? She is entitled to her own opinion. But what happened was, what's wrong with what happened was, she was basically threatened. She was so many misogynistic attacks, rape threats, murder threats were posted publicly on her Facebook post about her comment on then presidential candidate Duterte, which at that time was mind-boggling because if in person, we can't actually say those things in person and not get, called for and punished outright. But on social media, we kind of just let it happen. So we are at that climate now na people can just say these things and we seem to be okay with it. It's the norm. But hello people, please wake up. That shouldn't be the norm. Hindi tayo ganon. Anyway, so yan, one example. Next. This one I wrote during the Marcos burial protest. Remember that time when Marcos was basically going to be transferred to the libingan ng mga bayani, and then some people protested, and some people, okay, it's not a protest, but they basically cheered, I think, they rallied in support. It's not really a protest. I don't know why, but anyway. So during the protest, a pro-Marcos and an anti-Marcos faced each other. Do you know this story? Does anyone remember this? Okay, some of you do. So what happened was this young girl, I think she was in college or still in college, when she joined the protest, pinagharap nila yung photo against a Marcos supporter who was a guy and of age. Tapos what they're saying kasi the narrative at that time was that Marcos protesters, anti-Marcos protesters did not know anything because they were young. So that was the point of why they put it together. But the comments were like, let's gangbang this girl, let's rape her, let's tie her up. About 7 people did that in the comments. And they did it in a public group. And some people were calling them out, like 2 people. Pero, the idea of them being okay with it and saying it in public just did not sit well with me. So I wrote about it. And one of them actually got, what I heard, got fired from their job. So, for you guys who are still in college, may repercussions din yung pinapost nyo sa social media, so be careful. So those are trolls. They basically just live to torment and to threaten and to scare you. Next slide. Patriotic trolling. Ito, why this thrives in this environment is because we let it happen, like I said. And so these are hateful, hurtful, baseless, discriminatory, repeated attacks meant to embarrass and silence the victim. That really is the point. They attack you because they want you to be silent, not because they want you to fight back. That's never the goal. They want you to be silent. And when that happens in a propaganda setting, talo tayo if we actually shut up, if we actually just let them take over the conversation because we just don't want to deal with it because it's toxic. Gets? Now it becomes a threat to democracy. Now it becomes a threat to freedom of speech, precisely because we don't want to bother with it anymore because we're scared that if we speak our minds, even as a citizen of this country, we will get attacked, we will get bullied. And they are winning whenever we do that. They are winning whenever we go back into the old ways of using social media and just posting selfies, posting photos of our food, when in fact we already know that there's so many good things you can do with social media. Technology for social good. I don't think I have to speak about that anymore. Ang dami ng examples niyan. But that's what's happening. People keep asking, but yung sinasabi may threat to democracy, wala naman. That's the threat to democracy. Precisely if you are scared to speak your mind because you are afraid that you will be bullied and attacked online, that's the effect. They're winning when that happens. And these are the type of comments they say. Tangina nyo Rappler, susugudin namin kayo, hahanapin namin kayo. Die, stupid bitch. All of these things. And you can't, minsan, you have, mag-iisip ka pa bakit ganito yung mga tao and whatnot. But you know, just the mere awareness that this is actually part of a whole propaganda and campaign to make you shut up and silent should empower you. Kasi it's a mind game Huwag kayong papatalo sa mind game. Next slide. And this thrives, this kind of environment thrives because we let it and because, according to studies, anger is one of the fastest emotion that spreads online, even in person. Yung logic is simple If you have a neighbor you have a new neighbor and you have this neighbor that you've been living with you've been neighbors with for 10 years. And this neighbor tells you something bad about that neighbor with all passion and say for example, ayoko talaga yung kapitbahay natin kasi ninakawan yata ako ng sinampay. Naku, galit na galit talaga ako. Ikaw naman, you don't know the neighbor and you'd say, baka nga totoo, galit na galit siya Diba? That's also the same logic when online. Kapag may mga nagmumura, okay, naka-livestream tayo, but toot! And then, ganyan talaga yung Rappler na yan. It makes you think, baka naman totoo, grabe yung galit niya Galing sa kaibuturan ng puso niya. And that also applies online. Ganun lang And because, let's face it, mahilig tayo minsan sa kung anong uso. Sometimes a lot of us are bandwagoners. Kapag may mga galit ka na rin. Kapag inspired sila, inspired din ako. Ganun yung nangyayari Because, and also, online, madaling magkahawaan yan ng even in what applies in real life could also apply online. If someone does you an act of kindness, you'll get inspired to do an act of kindness for another person Same goes for if someone tells you something negative, ang next step mo kapag punong-puno ka na is next na kapag may nang away na sa'yo, lalabanan mo na rin ng ganong klaseng means. Mumurahin mo na rin, or magagalit ka na rin, mag-all caps ka na with exclamation. Kasi gano'n naman sila Yun yung logic natin Gano'n naman sila, so bakit hindi natin gawin yun? Pero again, that's also them winning. Kahit yung the values and morals game, we have to go back to the basics of humanity. That threats, we shouldn't let threats, na nandyan lang, tapos silent lang tayo kasi ayaw natin mga alam. We should continue to take part in democracy and comment about policies because that's our right as citizens. We should call out people when they're saying something bad. And we shouldn't stoop down to their level. That's precisely what they want us to do. That's precisely what they want to happen. Next slide. And then the last part is fake news or disinformation and misinformation. These are false stories that appear to be or pretend to be news. And I'll be talking more about this in the workshop in the afternoon. But we all know that this is such a big problem now. Ang daming klase ng fake news. There's lack of context. There's hindi naman talaga fake pero ano siya, ano yun, parang biased ko, no, one-sided. Hindi naman siya talaga fake, pero it happened in a different time. So iba na yung context niya. It doesn't apply. But they make it seem like it's happening now. That's why it becomes fake. Maraming iba't ibang klase ng fake news. But basically, those trolls, those bots, and fake accounts use this kind of information, use that kind of emotion, yung anger, to spread their message and to achieve their goals and objectives. Next slide. An example. These pages, basically, we caught them sharing the same link. Pero they don't interact with each other. They don't like each other. They like, as in the technical Facebook meaning of like. They don't connect online. But they all carry the same format of name. So, kunwari, President Rodrigo Duterte supporters, Kitty Duterte supporters, Erwin Tulfo supporters, Alan Peter Cayetano supporters, and Ronald Bato de la Rosa supporters. And they all have their own communities. Iba-iba yan eh. Iba-iba yung communities niyan. I could like Kitty Duterte supporters and not know that other pages exist. So, dun pa lang, kung kunwari, ako lang yung admin ng isang page na yan, and I ride on the trend of the names of these people, kasi madali sila makakuha ng likers and fans and supporters, and then I use that to spread my message, tas different audiences each pages, I get my message across already. So this is an example. Nakita ko, I saw this because I monitor all the mentions to Rappler. And they basically said, Rappler, Bam Aquino, at OVP ang nasa likod ng Superficial Gazette at Madam Claudia na troll FB page. And they shared it almost at the same time, with the same exact caption. And when you click on the story, doesn't mention us anymore. As in, nasa title lang kami. Walang mention, walang proof of what their claim, and it talks about Bam Aquino and Lenny Robredo about their activity in one province. Nothing more about Rappler, but ang dami nitong shares. Like one of that got about 60,000 likes, 3,000 shares, and no one, I guess, bothered to read it. Pero the headline is super catchy. And again, a lie repeated once, twice, could still be a lie, but if repeated 100,000 times and to different people with a strong emotion, could become true for a lot of people. So yan, when we saw it, I didn't really, it was such, wala siyang sense na article. So ganito lang yung ginawa namin. Copy-paste mga best, yun lang. Next slide. Okay, what's the strategy? I'm about to end. The strategy that they do is FUD. Have you heard of FUD? It's an old marketing practice. It's called, FUD means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So basically, mga marketers, they create parang a climate of fear, uncertainty, and doubt dun sa competitor brands nila. So that's what FUD is. That's a strategy. And then they do death by 1,000 cuts, explanatory. And then, so basically, lies and half-truths that fabricate an alternative reality by merging the power of bots, trolls, fake accounts, sometimes with personal attacks, to sow fear, doubt, and manipulate real people. So kung meron na ngang spread of disinformation, tapos you choose pa to be silent about it and not correct it and just let it happen, win-win talaga sa kanila. Panalong-panalo sila. And that's how propaganda is being used online. That's how disinformation spreads. Meron pa ba ako? Next slide. Okay. Actually, next slide na. So next slide, how do we combat this? I'll talk about it more later sa workshop, but basically, we have this campaign in Rappler called Inspire Courage. And precisely because we really want people to be, to take courage, the courage to stand up for the truth, the courage to speak truth to power, the courage to hold the powerful accountable, because that's what we should be doing. we have public servants, and they're public servants precisely because they need to serve the public, not the other way around. They are not lords, gods, or our bosses. We are here to hold them accountable. We need to work with them. And if they do not let themselves be held accountable, they think they're always right. And that's where the problem is. Kapag feeling nila, hindi na sila makorrect, they don't listen to the public, precisely because you don't speak, and some kind of climate on social media makes it seem like they're invincible. So they feel like it. So yes, just inspire you, hope that you can take courage to take a stand. Next slide. And with that, may you move the Philippines one social media post at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stacy, for sharing your insights with us. And so one of the words of wisdom talaga na nakuha ko with, from Ms. Stacy is that the moment we remain silent, the moment na pinili natin na huwag magsalita, even though we know that it's wrong, and natatakot lang tayo just because there's a possibility na pwede tayong mabully or pwede tayong ma-attack ng ibang tao, that's the threat to democracy. So it's a challenge to all of us na even in our young age na magsalita. Sabi nga ni Ms. Stacy, have the courage to speak, to correct, but with the consideration na tama yung sinasabi natin and nandun tayo sa tamang lugar ng pagsasalita. So, enough about me. So, Brian.
Over here, Shelo.
Yes. So,
Ayan.
gusto naman nating marinig kung anong masasabi ng ating audience
Ayan.
sa nakaraang two speakers natin. Ano bang masasabi nila dun sa mga sinabi nila?
So, Shelo, na-discuss natin and how we talk about our personal experiences, how we should deal with those disinformation nga, yung trolls na talamak sa social media. Ngayon, I'd like to ask someone from the audience kung ano yung na-experience nila and paano nila, sa sariling paraan nila, nakaka-combat yung mga ganong klase na, ayun, yung na-experience natin na disinformation nga. So, hello, hi, what's your name?
Hello, Derek po.
Ayan. So, Derek, I'd like to ask you a question. Yun nga, in your own little way, paano mo siya na-experience, paano mo siya kino-combat, ganyan, and share with our other audience, other participants. Ano?
Natatawa. Hello, good morning everyone. So I'm Derek. Hello. Siyempre bilang mga scholar ng bayan, dapat maging critical tayo sa bawat pinopost or sinishare natin in social media. So just recently, as part of the College of Development Communication Student Council, during the Straw Week, we conducted a forum about fake news and misinformation. So through this, we were able to share our knowledge and our fellow students and also kung paano nga ba i-combat tong fake news. And pangalawa, siguro, i-verify natin yung mga sinishare natin. Siguro through the links, kasi yung mga URL siguro, ma-check naman natin kung totoo ba siya or not. And also, kapag may mga, siguro na-encounter tayo na trolls or what, siguro, sabi nga kanina, di ba, kung alam naman natin yung tama, ba't hindi tayo mag-speak up? But also, aside from that, siguro wag natin silang i-judge. Siyempre marami tayong mga ka-DDS, di ba? Pero hindi nga nila alam eh. So tayo na mas nakakaalam pa, na mas alam natin yung knowledge, siguro we should build bridges and not burn bridges. Kasi yun yung isang way for us para makombat yung fake news. Ito fake news. And siyempre, it's also good for nation building kasi tayo na lang din naman yung magtutulungan. So yun lang. Salamat.
So maraming salamat, Derek. Palakpakan natin si Derek for sharing his insights. So I guess we're done with this side. Next time, dun naman tayo sa kabilang side, no, Shelo?
Yes. So Brian, again, sa mga hindi nakapunta dito, you may advise your friends, ayan, to spread the news that this forum is happening. Tweet and join the discussion using #FactsMatterPH space Laguna. And also, we have live streams happening right now on Rappler's Facebook page, YouTube page, and the front page of their Rappler website.
Ayan, so we've given yung insights ng audience natin, personal insights natin, and syempre yung previous speakers natin. So syempre, papatagalin mo ba natin yung next speaker natin? So hindi na, syempre. Ayan, so to talk about press freedom and democracy, she was a former reporter of bulatlat.com and a Newsbreak fellow. She is currently the campaign and training officer of ABS-CBN, Bayan Mo Ipatrol Mo, and the Secretary General of the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ma'am David Panelo.
Hello. Magandang umaga. First time ko po sa UPLB. Maraming salamat po sa Rappler at sa UPLB sa pag-invite. Hindi niyo po nakakalimutan ang NUJP. And I'm very glad to represent NUJP for the first time dito po sa inyong campus. Ang laki ng campus niyo, umiikot ako kanina, parang ano. Ito ba yung pinakamalaking campus ng UP? I think, no? Ito yung pinakamalaking campus na napuntahan ko. Okay, so I'm talking about media today. Iniba ko yung title, ang first title ko niyan is, ano ang balita sa mga tagapagbalita. Kaya lang hindi ko mapanindigan so ginawa ko na lang media today para mas madali. Okay. So, kamusta na ba yung media? Kamusta na ba kami? Kamusta na ba tayo? Sige po. Still, it is one of the most dangerous professions, no, in the world, according to the United Nations. Dapat mabilis daw bonds yung nagpipindot ng ano. Ayan. Sige po. Next slide na po. Nasaan na siya? It is one of the most, sige, uulitin natin. It is one of the most dangerous professions in the world, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists. Since 1992, 1,254 na yung mga kabaro po na pinatay in the line of duty. Sino po yung nagpipindot? Sa Pilipinas, from 1986, we count after the fall of the dictatorship, no? Because supposedly, katulad po ng binabanggit ni Miss Vitug kanina, ay democracy was supposedly restored in the Philippines. And di ba, we are the freest press in Asia, sabi nila. Pero bakit since 1986, meron tayong 180 na pinatay? And all of these are on the line of duty, no? Pag may media po na pinatay, we are always questioned kasi medyo mas malaki yung number namin ng NUJP kasi doon sa ibang organization. Sinasabi namin na because we have, of course, we have chapters nationwide, no, from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. At yung mga chapters, of course, they do the work. Sila yung talagang nagdo-document ng mga cases. At pag may media na pinatay, lagi namin yan nililista. And ang burden of proof na hindi work-related, hindi dahil work-related kaya sila pinatay, ay wala sa NUJP, wala sa atin. Dapat ang burden of proof nandun sa gobyerno. Patunayan nila na hindi work-related. So, ang ginagawa namin dyan is we actually go to the families, no? I just need to explain why this is 180. We go to the families, kinakausap namin sila. But, minsan kasi yung mga pamilya, pati sila kasi nahaharas, no? Kung pinapatay yung kanilang kaanak, yung kanilang pamilya. So, anong nangyayari? Hahabulin sila, so they will also migrate, no? Tapos minsan hindi na namin sila makakausap. Pero nililista pa rin namin yon unless no na ma-prove sa korte na sinabi na hindi siya work related. Kaya lang ang problema dito sa pag-document kasi talaga namin ng mga cases. Pag nagtatanong ka sa police, lahat 'yan under investigation, no, halos lahat. Sasabihin nila sa'yo, pag tumawag ka this month, may namatay. Magpa-follow up ka, last month may namatay. Mag-follow up ka this month, sasabihin sa'yo, under investigation. Mag-follow up ka after a year, under investigation. After 3 years, under investigation pa rin siya. Ganun lang yung sasabihin nila sa'yo. Tapos nagiging cold case na siya after 5 years. No? Ang problema pa dyan, sasabihin nila sa'yo, dahil wala silang witness, yung mga ganyan, no? Pero pag minsan, pag meron naman sila mga witness at nilalagay nila sa witness protection program at hindi nagpa-prosper yung case after 5 years, ang mga witnesses, tatanggalin nila dun sa witness protection program. And if we know, I know of one person, personally, I know of one person na tinanggal nila sa witness protection program tapos hindi na, pinabayaan na nila, walang support, no? So, na disenfranchise yung media kasi media person din yung witness dun sa pagkamatay nung media na pinatay. So pati yung family niya nag-migrate tapos biglang wala siyang trabaho, 'di ba? So ganun yung ano niya, no, ganun yung issue niya. And we need to stop looking at this na parang numbers lang, no? Kasi ang effect nung pagkamatay kahit ng isang media person sa isang community ay kasi usually no, especially in pag community media ka, pagka nandun ka sa mga komunidad, ikaw yung boses no? Ikaw yung boses ng mamamayan. So pagka ikaw pinatay, ang chilling effect nun hindi lang sa pamilya mo, kung hindi doon sa buong community, 'di ba? Kasi parang kung siya nga pinatay so ano na kami? Anong pwede nilang gawin sa amin? So nagsi-step back yung community kung sa, and it happens in a lot of communities na kung saan nakaka-document talaga kami, no? ng mga killings ng journalists. So the killings, no, of journalists, I just want to point out, is hindi lang yung journalist yung pinapatay mo. So the chilling effect ay sa buong sa buong community, nararamdaman yan ng buong komunidad. And I will talk about that sa later slides. Of course, if we break it down, ang pinakamarami is still the Arroyo administration with 103. Nung Aquino, meron niyang 32. Tapos Aquino ulit, no? Pareho sila magnanay, meron namang 18. Sabi nila, naging pinakamataas yung Arroyo because of the Maguindanao Massacre. No? But that is true. Pero yung Maguindanao Massacre, that's 32 media journalists were killed during the massacre. Pero binawas mo siya, 78 pa rin. Siya pa rin yung pinaka marami. No? So the deadliest, kasi post-Marcos, siya din yung pinakamatagal. Yung term niya kasi was, nakuha niya yung 3 years ni ERAP, no? So nag 9 years siya yung pinakamatagal so far. Hindi natin alam kung may mag-exceed sa kanya. Okay. During the Duterte administration, we've already documented 8, no? Actually, nung huling ginagawa namin to, kaka-update ko lang dito kanina. Kasi nung huling ginagawa namin siya, 5 lang yung nasa list namin. But nag-report kasi yung mga tao from the regions. So may mga nadagdag kami na pangalan. Larique and June Briones ay from the Bicol region, Catanduanes and Masbate. Tapos yung mga iba galing na sila lahat sa Mindanao. No? Of course, yung Mindanao laging mas pinakamataas din yung number of killings sa area na yon. The forms of attacks, hindi lang killings. Of course, meron ding harassment, merong threats, may physical attacks, yung killings of course, tapos yung libel. So, isa-isahin natin siya, give you examples ng harassments na ginagawa. So, of course, we have the online harassments na kanina dinidiscuss na nung dalawang speakers, so I won't talk about it lengthily. Of course, ito yung mga 2016 pa to, na sila yung mga nauna na na-harass, na sinasabi nila when they reported about yung Hitler comment, no? Tapos, they are actually, yung mga enablers ng yung mga ka-DDS ay meron talaga silang mga posts for their supporters to attack these journalists, no? Sinasabi nila, attack ito sila, or si Jess, si Gretchen Malalad also, no? Yung si Jamela Lindogan of Al Jazeera, marami yan, no, na talagang tinithreaten nila at they're asking their supporters to really attack. So talagang katulad ng sinasabi ni Stacy kanina, yung tinotroll sila yung mga most trolled. Of course, we know Manny Mogato, yung story na ginawa niya, won a Pulitzer for their team, no, sa Reuters recently. Next. Sige. So, ito yung mga threats karaniwan na natatanggap, no. Still, meron pa rin mga threats na nakukuha through text. No, meron pa rin, especially sa mga tao sa community media na tinatawag natin, no. So, ready ka na sa gera na gusto mo? Mga ganyan yung mga threat. It is coming to you, pasensyahan na kita pare. Hindi ko na masyadong maintindihan yung iba. Pero ito yung, are you ready for the war you're asking for? It is coming to you, no hard feelings, we will hit you because you are not cooperating. We have nothing against you, but you're challenging us, so don't blame us. Usually sa documentation namin, halos lahat, kung hindi lahat ng pinatay na na-document, meron niyang threats, hindi online, kung hindi threats sa text, no? In fact, nung actually yung NUJP na Facebook account was hacked in December 2016 after we published a Tagalog statement, no? Tagalog statement siya, parang year-ender report ng NUJP. So, hinak yung aming website. Tapos, hindi sila nakontento sa pag-hack ng website. Of course, there was online trolling. Ano yon? Almost every day kumakain kami ng mura, kumakain kami ng papatayin namin kayo, dapat ma-rape na kayo, and all those stuff na nakain na namin lahat yan. Pero, dahil meron kaming hotline number, our hotline number is 091-7515-9551. At syempre, hotline number siya dahil pinapakalat namin siya dahil ito yung hotline na pag kami nasi-threaten na journalist, dito sila magte-text or dito sila tatawag. Ganon siya, no? So of course, pag may nag-text dyan sa number na yan, or pag may tumawag, sasagutin namin yan, no? Kasi syempre, yun yung use niya. So nung time na hinak yung aming website, ang dami-dami naming natanggap na text dun sa hotline. Tapos meron kaming mga natatanggap talaga na call. And iba pala yung feeling, no? Na minumura ka ng live. Kasi talagang tatawagan ka nila, tapos pag sagot mo ng phone, of course, you will answer the phone. Kasi baka may na-threaten na journalist, kailangan mong sagutin. So pag sagot mo ng telepono, minumura ka talaga nila. Sabi nga ni Stacy, live tayo, so hindi pwedeng sabihin. Pero ganon, talagang mahabang-mahaba yung mura nila at papatayin namin kayo, ganon sila kalala mag-threaten, no, hindi lang ng individuals but organizations as well. So, ang sinasabi nga natin, do not take the threats lightly, no? Minsan kasi, pag may natatanggap tayo na threat, wow, sikat, tinithreaten, di ba? Pero let us not take it lightly kasi hindi siya biro. And ulitin ko, most of the cases na na-document namin, may threats na ganito bago sila patayin. And hindi lang sila yung tinitretan, meron kasi akong na-document na case na pati yung anak tinithreaten. Tapos yung text dun sa tatay, paano mo gustong patayin yung anak mo? Re-raping ko ba muna o papatayin ko na lang agad? Mga ganong klase ng text na natatanggap ng tatay. Tapos yung anak, nakakatanggap din siya ng text na, mag-ingat ka, alam namin kung saan yung daan mo pa uwi. At yung alam kung saan ang daan mo pa uwi is not a joke. Totoo siya. For one of the victims na na-document ko sa Mindoro. Next, please. Physical attack, we still receive this, no? Ito, meron siyang sinulat a few years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago. Tapos, nung minsan, umattend siya ng fiestahan, and yung isinulat niya na Vice Mayor, na blind item ha, blind item yung sinulat niya na yon, ay nandoon sa same fiesta. Eh, nakita siya. Pinuntahan siya, tapos pinitsurahan siya, tapos sinuntok siya. Ganon sila ka-brutal. No? Ganon sila, parang feeling nila, pag-aari nila yung mundo. Sa festivity to ha, walang nangyayari. Fiestahan lang talaga. Hindi siya nagko-cover, hindi naman nagpe-press con yung Vice Mayor. Nagkita lang talaga sila. Nung nakita siya, pipitsurahan ka, susuntokin ka. Of course, binlatter niya yan, at I think there's a case against the Vice Mayor na isinampa. Next, please. Yung killings na banggit ko na kanina. Next. At libel. Okay, ito yung kind of harassment na ginagawa din sa mga journalists, no? 3 sa mga kasamahan namin, members namin, no, ng NUJP sa Quezon, inaresto sila last July, last February, dahil broadcaster sila, tapos pinag-uusapan nila saan daw ba dinala ni Congressman Danilo Suarez yung 70 billion na PDAF, no? Yun. So yun yung pinag-uusapan nila. Kaya sila tinampahan ng libel, tapos maraming hinuhuli, no, na libel ngayon. And of course, we are criminal, no, yung libel ngayon. So we are still campaigning for the decriminalization of libel. Paano nagiging harassment siya? Okay. Ang ginagawa nila ng mga nagpa-file ng libel case, lalo na kung ang pina-filean nila ay mga taga-probinsya, no? Diyan naman sila magaling yung mga taga-probinsya, alam nila napaka-vulnerable. So yan ang pa-filean nila ng case. Ngayon, ang ginagawa nila, kung kunyari taga Quezon ka, and this is a real case, no? Taga Quezon ka, pero pa-filean ka ng case sa Quezon City. Okay? So, pag may hearing, yung pobreng media, yung pobreng mamamahayag na taga Quezon, kailangan niya mamasahe papunta sa Quezon City, okay? Para doon harapin yung kanyang kaso. So, ganoon yung ginagawa nila, no? So, ganyan yung ginagawa nila para harassment talaga yan, tsaka alam nila na economically hirap ka di ba? So parang sasabihin lang naman nila dapat mag-public apology ka. Ganyan. Yun yung hinihiling nila, dapat mag-public apology ka para i-atras ko na yung kaso laban sa iyo, di ba? Mga ganong klase ng harassment yung ginagawa nila. Of course, the harassments are not only on individuals. Okay, katulad ng binabanggit kanina, the harassments are also towards corporations, no? Big corporations actually. At yung chilling effect niya, kahit sa mga simpleng manggagawa po na katulad ko, totoo. Kasi nung in-announce nung nag-breaking news na ni-revoke ng SEC yung registration ng Rappler. Nandun ako nun sa office, no? I'm from ABS, tapos nandun kami, nagmo-monitor kami ng news. Tapos nung in-announce yun, yung medyo may uproar ng konti talaga Tapos oy, paano yan? Susunod na ba tayo? Because there is also a threat, no? Na tatanggalin yung hindi na i-renew ang franchise. So yung threat na sa mga empleyado na in the next 2 years baka mawalan ka ng trabaho, totoo siya. no? At kahit ako personally may ganun na ano, no? May ganun siya na takot. May ganun siya na worry sa isip mo. Because lagi nga sinasabi ng mga taga-Rappler, if they can do it to Rappler, no? They can do it to anyone else. They can do it to you, di ba? They can do it to anyone else. So, ganun yung ginagawa nila, no? Of course, we have ABS-CBN, we have Inquirer, yung ginawa nila na, although hindi pa nako-consummate, no? Yung pagbili ni Ramon atong ang ng Inquirer, of course, we all know what is happening now with Rappler. But ang bottom line nito, of course, is yung tinatawag natin na impunity, no? Walang accountability. The impunity is there is no one is being held accountable. Actually, pinapayagan pa nga and he's being held, no? For para pag inaatake niya yung press, no? May nakukuha pa na support yung presidente. Sabi nga niya, media corruption daw ang root cause of journalist killing. So, let us remember, hindi pa man siya nakaupo, no? Hindi pa siya nakaupo sa posisyon sa Malacanang. Si Duterte, even during the campaign, nagsisimula na siya, no, to discredit the media, not just individuals but the media as an institution, 'di ba? Ayun yung ginagawa niya talaga. Even during the campaign, nakita na natin yun. At katulad nga nung sabi niya, it's not because you're a journalist, you're exempted from assassination if you're a son of a bitch. Of course, we do not deny that there are journalists na napupunta sa ganon, no, who are hindi masyadong malinis, no? It is not a perfect industry, okay? Pero syempre, ang sinasabi natin is, kahit na corrupt pa yung ating kasamahan, it is not reason para patayin siya. Kasi nga, ang sinasabi nga natin, meron namang mga batas, no? Kung kunyari ang media ay merong maling isinulat, no? Pwede mo naman siyang sampahan ng libel. Kaya yung sinasabi nga namin, lagi, no, it is always a reminder for everyone, especially to the public, na kung meron kayong hindi gusto na ginagawa ng media, there is mga reports na tingin nyo nag-overboard, tingin nyo masyadong alarmist naman yung reports, or tingin nyo false yan, no ba? Nagkamali kayo dyan. Please call us out. No? Yan yung panawagan talaga, hindi lang ng NUJP, but the panawagan ng buong media industry. You tell us, no, yung mga media corporations, we have our mga ombudsman, meron kaming mga centers kung saan pwedeng magreklamo yung public, no? We always have to be accountable dun sa lahat ng nire-report namin sa inyo. So kung tingin nyo merong mali, tingin nyo merong hindi kayo nagustuhan dun sa report, please call us out. It's a shared, no? It's a shared responsibility between the media and the public that we serve. So yun ang talagang matinding pakiusap namin. Sabihin nyo sa amin, pwede kayo magreklamo. At meron talagang mga nasususpend, merong mga natatanggal sa trabaho. Pag talagang merong naging malaking kasalanan, malaking pagkakamali, no, na inireklamo mismo. And these corporations, they take it seriously. Yung mga feedback, yung mga reklamo, galing sa inyo. So please do. Aniaantay namin, we want to hear from you always, no? At of course, kahit na nababalot ng impunity, no? Yung sa panahon ngayon, sabi nga ng isa sa aming statement, what we do know is that the last time a president actually shut down the press ay ay it did not sit well, no? At like it almost always never ends well for tyrants. So, with that, siguro I'll end with that, and I think we have a question and answer later. Doon na lang tayo magpalawig sa question and answer. Salamat po.
Thank you, Ma'am Dabbit. And so maraming salamat po ulit para dun sa, alam mo, further enlightening us dun sa current status ng mga journalists natin dito sa bansa. And isa sa mga tumatak sa akin, yung sa paggawa ng news and how it is a shared responsibility dun sa media outlets as well as dun sa public, and paano makakatulong yung public dun sa pag-shape or paggawa ng news rather. Now, nasaan ang aking partner? Where's my partner? Ay, there you are. Bakit ka nandyan, Shell?
Hello, ayan. Hello, Brian. So, kanina doon tayo sa side na yon. Ngayon naman, magtatanong tayo dito randomly. Kung ano nga ba ang take nila sa current status ng press freedom sa Philippines ngayon. Alright? Pero bago tayo magtawag na Brian, sinong gusto mag-volunteer from this side? Meron ba? Okay. Walang gustong tumingin sa akin at all. Pero kailangan may sumagot. Okay? Josh? Do you want to answer? Sige, lapit ka dito. Ulitin ko yung tanong, no? Sa tingin mo, ano yung current status ng press freedom dito sa Philippines?
Ayun, para sa akin, syempre, ayan, kasi live din tayo. Ayan, para sa akin, malaya yung media natin, whereas, nakakapagpahayag pa naman tayo dun sa, yun, kung yung gusto nating ipahayag. Pero, siguro, mas lumala yung mga threats, kagaya nung nasabi sa talk kanina, na kahit, ayun nga, may kaakibat na mabigat na threat yung pagkakaroon ng so much freedom, na kung ano yung pinapahayag natin, mayroong mag-oppose, merong tumututol, may nag-agree, and given na mas malaya na tayo ngayon sa social media, parang mas, yun nga, nasa information age na tayo, parang mas dumadami yung opinion ng mga tao about dun sa pinapahayag natin. And siguro, though sobrang free pa rin naman natin bilang, nagpa-practice ng journalism, parang mas nagkakaroon na ng mga, parang yun nga, napopolarize tayong mga tao, yung napopolarize yung community natin, and yun, nagkakaroon ng mga threats sa journalists.
And Josh, wait, follow up. So, ayun yung sinabi mong status ng press freedom dito sa Philippines. Ngayon, bilang isang estudyante, ano naman yung ginagawa mo para makakontribute doon sa press freedom natin dito?
Ayun, since nagpa-practice din naman, nagpa-practice ng journalism sa some courses, yan, DevCom 136, and community communications, community media, parang, syempre kailangan, yun nga, parang iisip mo, ano ba yung valid na information dapat sinishare? And one part din siguro dun sa ginagawa is, dapat, kung ano yung galing sa community, hindi mo siya i-frame or i-shape dun sa kung ano yung papabor sa'yo. Pero, ano ba dapat talaga yung i-communicate? Ano yung dapat na malaman? Kahit hindi siya ganun ka-interesting or kahit sobrang negative or talagang shocking siya. Parang kung yun talaga yung binigay na information, we have to communicate it. Pero syempre with, parang, yun techniques and stuff. Pero basically, kailangan ko ano yung information na dapat kino-communicate and what is valid, yun talaga dapat yung pinapahayag. Yun lang.
Thank you very much, Josh. So, very DevCom yung sagot niya, di ba? Palakpakan naman natin si Josh. Alright.
Ayan, so, Shelo, I'd like to emphasize more dun sa, since kinakaharap nga na threats ng mga journalists natin, and this speaks volume about dun sa kung gaano ka-daring yung mga journalists natin and gaano ka-risky talaga yung trabaho nila. And despite of all these things, ginagawa pa rin talaga nila yung trabaho nila, di ba? So, ayun, palakpakan natin yung ating mga journalists. Yay! Thank you. Ayan, so now we proceed to the next part of our forum, which is a panel discussion about the situation of the national and local press. So, sino-sino yung mga kasama natin ngayon, Shelo?
So, unang-una na dyan, no, nandito ang ating campus journalist na si Miss Julian Afable, na editor-in-chief ng ating school newspaper, which is Perspective. So, palakpakan natin siya as we invite her on stage.
Next, we have the current editor-in-chief of the LB Times, our community journalist. Palakpakan natin si Ms. Ricarda Villar. Alam mo, Shelo, kung hindi ako taga rito, akalain ko artista si Ma'am Ricarda.
Yes. Very artistahin si Ma'am.
Ayan, so,
And they will be
join me.
joined by our previous speakers, which are Miss Marites Vitug, Miss Stacy De Jesus, and Miss Davet Panelo.
Ayan, so, kailangan syempre natin ng moderator for this discussion, Shelo. No? So, for our moderator for this discussion, we have the unit head of the civic engagement arm of Rappler, who also manages its core movers and volunteers who want to help change the world. She believes in the power of the masses and knows that with everyone fighting for a better world, nothing will be unattainable. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome on stage the unit head of civic engagement of Rappler, Ms. Raisa Serafica.
Thank you. Ayan. Siguro before we start, gusto ko lang din i-remind yung hashtag natin for the day. Kanina, medyo inambush kayo ng mga hosts natin about your takeaways. Kung nahihiya kayong i-share, you can also tweet that using yung hashtag natin, hashtag FactsMatterPH. And if you have questions, I'll be checking din yung Twitter. If you have questions for our panelists, you can also tweet them para matanong na din natin. In any case, magkakaroon din ng open forum after this panel discussion. Okay, so kanina it was established naman na ni Mama Rites na fake news is not new, diba? Parang since then meron na yan before pa, but it has become so prevalent recently, kagaya nung shinare ni Miss Tabet at Miss Stacy, na so much so na last year ito yung ginawang word of the year ng Collins Dictionary. But our speakers showed yung parang national and then even the worldwide picture ng fake news and how it's affecting the community. Let's go local. To jumpstart the discussion, let's ask siguro from our panelists sa LB Times and UPLB Perspective, ano ba yung naging experience natin so far with fake news? And also, in addition to that, paano pumapasok social media doon?
Okay, so good morning. So sa perspective, since yung social media ay nagamit na nating platform to publish our news, ganyan na yung daily events sa campus na papublish agad siya directly sa news for a reach of a wider audience as compared sa dati na our newspapers are published siguro mga once a month or twice a month, ganyan. Now that we have social media as a platform, yung news namin is after the event, mapopost na siya agad. So, our experience with fake news and siguro yung sa trolls na lang, ayun, merong comments ng trolls sa page namin, sa posts namin, tapos minsan to the point na nagme-message talaga sila dun sa inbox ng Facebook page ng Perspective. And sa experience din ng ibang UP publication, yung pag-report ng page kasi ay nakaka-affect siya sa algorithm nung kung gaano ka yung sa algorithm ng reach ng mga post ng isang page. So, yun yung medyo problematic for us, yung pag-report, yung pagdi-dislike, ganyan. Tapos yung rin mismo, pag-claim na fake news to, itong pinublish nyo, whereas it's not naman. Ayan.
Okay, for Los Baños Times, when we talk about Los Baños Times kasi it's a collective of writers galing sa academe, kami yon sa DDJ, yung mga students namin, sa courses namin, so may practical component sila dun sa curriculum. Kasama din dito yung representatives ng LGU, so yung sa offices, and then from the civil society organizations. So kapag yung siguro cases ng misinformation ata yung mas common, nagiging mas, kumbaga, shared kasi yung accountability. So, ay, makiki-update po, hindi ata ganyan yung statement ko. Hindi naman siya, it's more on everyone sharing the accountability of presenting the most accurate and updated information. So, sa disinformation, hindi naman masyado so far. Kasi nabanggit din kanina sa video, it's more on for political stories. For LB Times, kumbaga, ang focus namin is more on ano yung community initiatives, sino yung nag-collaborate, ano yung naging strengths, weaknesses, ano yung may improve later on. So, hindi masyado on disinformation. Since academic-based din naman yung Los Baños Times, ang focus namin siguro, kasi training ground siya ng mga future communication professionals at journalists natin, siguro yung lessons on paano ba nadidistinguish yung credible sources, ano ba yung medyo tagilid na information, paano mo siya pwedeng i-tone down. Kasi we can encounter sources na medyo i-inflate yung, bida, ganun. So when we do the stories para sa development journalism for LB Times, medyo ibababa natin ng konti at medyo accurate. So it's more on triangulation, validation, at ano ba yung credible source natin.
Papalik lang po ako din sa kanina. You mentioned na may experience sa trolling. Ano yung mga instances na na-experience yun ng UPLB perspective?
Okay, so, nung first day rage ng acad year 2016 and last year, nangyari kasi na students were asserting for free education. So, ang nangyari, hindi, for many times na nag-request ng dialogue with the chancellor, hindi talaga napapansin, hindi natutuloy yung mga dialogue. So, and that, in that first day rage, the students asserted na magkaroon talaga ng dialogue with the chancellor kasi nga, nagkakagalo na lahat sa registration kung paano ba mag-work yung free tuition law, ganyan, kung magko-collect ba or magbabayad ba. So, ang nangyari sa heat with the CSB and the students, nabasag yung main live door. So, we reported it, ganyan, and then na-post siya sa Facebook, ganun. Tapos yung mga troll accounts, ginamit nila yung video namin, video footage namin. Tapos ang ginawa nilang caption is parang pinarating doon na nagbasag ng school property yung mga students, while in fact ang nangyari naman is they were asserting for something. So ang naging na-antagonize yung students ng UPLB dahil sa pag-present ng fake news na ginamit yung clip namin.
Okay, siguro babalik naman din ako sa sinabi ni Ma'am Ricardo kanina. Since we're in a academic setting, siguro for questions for everyone, ano sa tingin niyo magiging role ng academe in combating fake news, especially that, like for example, may mga, even in the local community, like yung sinabi ni UPL perspective, may mga ganong experiences, nagiging ng attack yung mga students, campus journalists na rin.
So, we'll start siguro sa mga estudyante namin. Given yon, required yon, oo, dapat medyo informed sila at aware supposedly. Ayan. Tignan natin sa workshop mamaya. Ayan. From the students, kasama dun kasi yung mga, we hold regular meetings at trainings with our community collaborators. In a way, mas na-update kung ano ba yung current issues ngayon, ano ba yung magiging paano ba i-treat ng community yon. So any concern halimbawa, kasi hindi porket walang major na case so far ay hindi yan mangyayari. So what we're trying to do is to prepare, and sana equipped kami by the time, although sana hindi. Yon, so from the students to sa aming mga members sa community. Yun naman lagi kung ano yung alam supposedly namin, it's something that we can share with our collaborators sa community level. Yung training yun, hindi lang sa representative ng civil society organizations or LGU offices. Meron din kaming partners from senior high school, junior high, and then elementary kasi regular kami nag-hold or i-invite to hold journalism trainings, specifically yung sa community or development journalism.
May dadagdag po ba yung other speakers?
Malaki yung role ng academe sa pag-combat ng ng fake news. Actually, in-encourage natin as early as elementary, no? Naturuan na natin yung mga bata dun sa tinatawag natin na media and information literacy, no? Kasi sa ngayon, ibinibigay ito sa junior high, second sem ng junior high, second sem ng grade 11, no, sa senior high. Ano siya, kasama siya dun sa curriculum nila. Pero sana nga mas as early as elementary kasi ang mga natin, ang mga kabataan ngayon, ilang taon pa lang may Facebook na, 'di ba? At ang problema dahil sa Facebook ay mas sobrang hindi mo na alam kung anong totoo at hindi, no? Kasi yung mga false na websites, yung mga fake websites na tinatawag ay in disguise of ay parang legitimate na website, no? Itsura yung nila. So parang akala mo totoo siya. So especially yung mga kids, hindi pa nila na-discern . So dapat bata pa lang sila, dapat tinuturuan na natin sila on what is social media, pero what is also the role of the media in society, the role of media in democracy, 'di ba? Dapat na natuturo na natin sa kanila 'yon, and yun ang actually yung NUJP and other media companies, other media organizations are working with the academe, no, para mag-hop from school to school, from university to university, para magbigay ng media and information literacy trainings, no. And merong mga media practitioners na very willing to train even teachers, no, na nagtuturo ng MIL dun sa mga high school students. Kasi yung problema, dahil bago nga ang K-12, no, it's only the second year, so yung mga teachers na tinatap nila to teach media and information literacy are karaniwan English teachers or Filipino teachers or IT, yung mga nagtuturo ng IT, kasi sabi nila media and information literacy, siguro mga taga-IT dapat silang nandun, na hindi practitioners, at napakahirap ituro, no, ng role ng media pagka hindi, no. Of course, magaling din yung mga nagtuturo sa academe, but yung mga practitioners, yung mga media practitioners natin are very willing, no? Pwede lang mag-request either through NUJP or maybe through Rappler, ABS, GMA. Nagbibigay sila no, ng mga media and information literacy trainings. So yun, we can work hand in hand dito sa campaign na ito.
Siguro jumping from that, so parang, di ba, we're training the students, and aside from that, it's also teaching the public kung ano ba yung role ng journalist. So right now, diniscuss natin yung threats to press freedom, but aside from that, meron ding trust is earned. And right now, one of the things, the challenges sa journalists, national level or communities, yung to earn the trust the public. What are your newsrooms doing to earn that trust from the public? Kasi I think this is talaga siya, part siya nung challenge ngayon.
Before kasi, yung dilemma nun ay parang okay kami yung magbibigay ng news, kayo yung magbabasa doon. So, with development journalism kasi sa LB Times, ang gusto namin ay yung balita ay local perspectives mismo. Kasi halimbawa, sa UPLB, ang mga estudyante dito, or at least, not necessarily galing sa Los Baños. So if they want to write a story, hindi ganun ka-local yung perspective, kumbaga, lalo na kapag mga initial years dito sa university. So ang gusto sana namin ay mai-partner sila with a community member para makukuha yung perspective. Siguro yung mga stories nila ay mas sila na kapag second, third year, medyo okay na yun. So yung sa engagement, madalas kaming nakikipag-meet dun sa aming collaborators. Simula 2013, na-observe kasi namin na pare-pareho lang naman yung sinusulatan, di ba? Request for letter of interview, ganyan. So sabi namin, mukhang maganda naman yung rapport ninyo with the interviewees nyo. Why not i-invite natin sila dito, buuhin natin yung network. So at least, pagka ganon, magkakakilala kami lahat, tapos kapag may problema, halimbawa sa isang case, madali nila kaming marireach. So, ang ano doon, yung nabanggit nga kanina, wini-welcome lagi namin yung comments or feedback. Kamusta po ba yung students namin? Masyado bang makulit? Professional ba? So, ganun halos yung simula ng start ng meeting every time with collaborators. Merong naka-assign doon. Sa trust naman, well, isa na din pala yun. Yun, yung regular communication with our stakeholders. Yun.
So in our case naman, sa perspective, kasi we're, being that we were established nung martial law din and started out as a mosquito press, ina-uphold talaga namin ngayon yung advocacy journalism. So yung mga usually na nire-report namin is yung plight ng masses and ng students na hindi usually nire-report ng mainstream media. So, yung fact na nire-report namin yung mga bagay na hindi natin mismo nakikita sa mainstream media, merong parang medyo judgment na, totoo ba yan? Bakit hindi naman namin yan nabasa dito? Pero ayun, so, to really gain the trust of the people, we really go directly. Kunyari, just recently, we went to integrate with the contractual workers in Coke FEMSA in Santa Rosa, Laguna, where they were, may picket sila outside the factory. And ayun, we really, we gathered information firsthand from the people that we write about. So, ayun na.
From the other speakers. Kasi yun, that's from local, so mas madaling mag-community. From
Overall trust rating, I'm trying to remember kung anong survey yun. I-fact check nyo na lang ako, wala kasi akong signal. Pero overall trust rating on the media here in the Philippines, I think about 78-74%. It's lower than previous years, but high na yon. However, it's significantly lower for users on social media, yung trust rating sa media. The point is, it seems online na galit ang mga tao, lalo na kunwari sa Rappler in our context, because that's what I monitor, na parang wala na talagang tiwala sa atin. But when you actually go out and meet people, which we do in Move PH and we do outreach activities, dun mo malalaman face-to-face na parang we get the statement of support, or they hold us accountable too, they question us, but in a very civil manner, hindi katulad yung nangyayari online. What we do, this is the question now, kasi I think until now, the media in general is having a hard time transitioning from a phase where doon tayo sa, our work should speak for itself, tahimik lang tayo. But at the same time, kung tahimik lang tayo and we should just keep working, we're just also letting the lies against us spread. And then also, at the same time, nasasaktan yung credibility natin nang wala naman tayong ginagawa. Because, again, a lie repeated several times becomes true. So, pag sinabi ng paulit-ulit na ilang tao na Rappler is fake news, and Rappler produces fake news, that could become true for people who has never heard of us and hears that from 5 different people at the same time who has just heard it from, a close circle, hasn't really encountered us. Ang impression na nila, narinig ko yung Rappler fake news. So, what do we do? Kasi marami na tayong ginagawa to begin with eh. We're very busy with this administration. Sabi nga namin, we notice administration ni Aquino, he would do press conferences once, twice a week. Dito, ang president natin does press conferences 5 times a day minsan. literally wala ka na ibang magagawa. It's leadership by press conference. So parang, hindi mo na, dun pa lang busy ka na eh. But you also now have to think of a marketing way to battle the fake news. As you also have to, again, yung transition mo on, let the work speak for itself, etc. So, andun pa rin sa, mahirap until now, hindi pa rin ma-figure out. But, ang ginagawa natin is so far, we go out, we talk to people to really hear the sentiment. Yun lang yung tingin ko talagang magagawa natin because at the end of the day, our job is to really report the news and tell the stories. And this is happening, we get distracted, nawawala yung point ng trabaho. So yun, may sweet spot. So, I hope na the people can help. Kapag naintindihan na nung mga tao yung role ng media and nakikita na nila na yung media itself is being attacked. And when that happens, hindi na alam ng tao in general kung sino pagkakatiwalaan or kung anong paniniwalaan. And that's a problem. So, yeah.
Now, maybe just 2 points. Trust is earned through time, through the years. But now, under this context, there's an effort to undermine media, the real media, by using propaganda, by using state resources to bolster bloggers. So, double ngayon yung effort, like what David said, yung media information literacy, we have to be transparent. How do we decide what news goes to our website? And we have to apologize if we make mistakes. We have to correct these mistakes. So, yun lang. It takes a lot of time, and now may additional burden pa, or additional duty, or additional work to go and communicate to you directly.
Siguro before we open the floor for question and answers, ano yung message nyo sa public? How can the public help the journalists in fighting fake news and disinformation online?
Yun. So for students, may nag-share lang kasi sa amin na when we see fake news, di ba usually we want to really react on it na like, no, this is not true, ganyan. So if we want to share the fake news and add our comment, di ba we can do that in Facebook. Maybe we can just screenshot it and then add our comment. Kasi if we share it using the share button, it adds to the it can spread more. Pero if it's a screenshot, then mababawasan yung possibility of more people seeing it. Ayan.
Practical siguro, kumbaga, matutuwa na siguro, malaking achievement na kapag when you're looking at a particular piece of information, yung same effort at level of scrutiny na ginagamit natin, di ba, sa pagpili ng photos natin, ayan, for cover photo, profile photo, kung anong filter, para sa susunod na Instagram post nyo, kung ganong level ng effort, yan, at time yung gagamitin nyo before you react o comment on something, then that's sobrang na yun, ang laking contribution na yun.
Akin naman, going back kanina to what the academe can do, no? Kasi schools have a very big pool of, resources. Or parang people as a resource to help. Kasi ang battle natin is against bots, fake news, and trolls. Bots alone can create thousands of posts per minute. Kung media lang, wala talon-talo talaga tayo. So we need more hands to actually help fact-check, debunk lies. In Move PH, we're looking for a pool of volunteers. We're trying to train people to actually help us fact-check. So if you're interested, you can come to us and ask us more about it.
Siguro na lang, tip na lang, no? Very big difference between journalism and yung mainstream media at saka yung fake news ay yung tinatawag natin na accountability. Okay? Because yung media, kami, we are, katulad ng binanggit ko kanina, we are always accountable. dapat, no, sa lahat ng aming sinusulat, sa lahat ng aming nire-report. Yung news process, yung news gathering process, napakahaba niyan. And kaya nga natin kailangan magturo ng media and information literacy, ng news literacy sa mga tao para maintindihan nila na yung news na binabasa, bago nyo mabasa, bago nyo mapakinggan, bago nyo mapanood, mahaba yung proseso na pinagdadaanan. Okay? Tapos, we have to verify, no, lahat ng aming sources. Kaya and of course we have to be accountable again dun sa lahat ng aming sinusulat, pinoproduce na mga stories. Ngayon, ang mga fake news websites, no, because we also have fake blog, no. Ito yung isang app na ginagamit namin, introduced by NUJP and CMFR, na pwedeng mag-report, no? Yung kung kunyari, meron kayong mga fake news sites, fake websites na nakikita online, you can report it dun sa fake blog. Ngayon, pag ni-report nyo siya doon, tinitingnan namin siya. At ang mga na-report na doon na sites, around mga 500 na. Tapos, bine-verify namin siya isa-isa. At ang napansin namin sa kanya, actually hindi pa kami matapos kasi nakakahilong magbasa, no, ng isa lang na fake website, no. And of course, we do not judge them just by their yung cover nila kasi parang totoong balita sila eh. So binabasa namin yan. News per news, binabasa namin siya talaga at masakit siya sa ulo. Believe me, nakakahilo talaga siya. Pero we have to do it, no? Bine-verify namin kung talagang fake that. Alam niyo kung anong nakikita namin sa kanya. Pag wala siyang accountability, bakit? Dahil pag tiningnan mo dun sa about us, contact us, wala yun. Hindi nila sinasabi, who publishes this website? Sino nagpa-publish ng website na to? Diba? Kung kunyari meron kayong tanong about the news na nakasulat doon, kunyari meron kayong question, sinong tatawagan nyo? Kunyari may reklamo kayo, saan kayo susulat? Saan kayo mag-i-email? No? So very crucial yon, yung tinatawag na accountability. And siguro yung panawagan lang, no, natin dun sa everyone, hindi lang sa mga estudyante, to all of us na watching yung live stream, is for us to be discerning dun sa mga ating mga binabasa at sinishare. No? Kung tayo ay naka-free data at headline lang yung nakita natin, wag naman na natin ang i-share unless mabasa natin yung buong story at alam natin kung ano yung sinishare natin. Ano? At yung sana, bago tayo mag-share, we make it sure na totoo yung ating sinishare. No? Yun lang, ganung practice lang, malaki na yung maitutulong dun sa hindi pag-spread ng fake news.
So, we've learned upholding press freedom is not just responsibility of the journalist, it is also responsibility ninyo as the public. So, shinare kanina basic things that you can do not share fake news or use yung fake blog app ng NUJP or volunteers fact checkers. So okay, right now we're already opening the floor for questions to our panelists. Sinong may questions? Sige. Introduce yourself, your name, anong course, affiliation, and then your question. Let's make sure na let's keep it to 1 to 2 sentences yung question. Siguro we have around a time for 3 to 4 questions.
Hello. Good morning po, panel. Ako po si Josh Carolina, Bachelor of Science in Development Communication from CDC. Ang question ko po, kasi may sinabi si Ms. Martas Vitog kanina and napaisip ako tungkol dun sa phrase sinabi na real media. Ang question ko po is, what makes one, ano po yung nag-distinguish sa isang media na maging real media or real journalist apart from the fake news or fake journalist, and what makes their craft or their product na real and hindi part ng disinformation or fake news?
You want to...
Para po sa lahat. Or pwede rin po kay Miss
Okay. Ang gandang question nun kasi actually may mga nagsasabi na don't use the term fake news kasi it's actually nag-aano siya sa mga journalists. Ano pong ano kayo?
No, fake news is in quotes. Anyway, just to share na a news organization hires journalists who are either journalism or broadcast communication graduates, but not necessarily. You can hire anyone, but they undergo training. So merong, as nabanggit ni David, may process ng news gathering. We follow certain standards. We have a code of ethics. We're transparent. You can see our website, and then if we are wrong, then somebody calls our attention, we correct, we apologize, and you can always see at the end of the news story kung ano yung correction made. Kasi to be very transparent. But it's a whole entire process. Although some people say, bakit dapat ang mga journalists mag-board exam din kayo, mag-license din kayo. But that's a big debate because that will mean that there might be an yes, a violation of the freedom of expression. But that's just one point of view.
Follow-up lang po. So, is citizen journalism also a factor na nagkaroon ng fake news and disinformation?
Is citizen journalism a factor? Teka. Kung bakit may fake news? No, I don't think it's correlated. There are just really bad people who saw an opportunity and use social media to spread their own disinformation and propaganda. If anything, I think we need more citizen journalists to speak up. Yung mga talagang news junkies knows the role of media, understands it. Kasi sometimes we get letters, requests, minsan na parang, ganito gawin niyo, Rappler. Pagandahin niyo muna yung image, saka niyo atakihin para hindi kayo awayin. Tas kami, that's not our role. It's not our role to make anyone look good or to make anyone look bad. Our role is to report and tell the story and amplify opinions so there's actual debate happening because that's what, again, democracy is about. It's about discourse, being willing to listen to each other, agree to disagree. So, ang problem lang naman talaga is because when people express na atake na tayo and that's not, na-atake na yung tao pag nag-express siya ng opinion niya, that's not what it's about. I think citizen journalists, if they call themselves that, should be more aware na hindi ganun yun. It's not about, it's actual responsibility and accountability.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Good morning po and thank you so much po for giving this kind of talk and finding time po para sa amin. Yung first question ko po, related po dun sa isang tanong naman, yung sa akin, do you think that this widespread of disinformation has something to do with the present administration? After this administration, do you think na magkakaroon po ba ng decline with the disinformation or magka-carry on pa rin po ba siya?
Yes, as I think you mentioned earlier, was it you, that Duterte is the first president to be elected using social media heavily in a campaign. So yes, it has to do with this administration. Why? Because also of his polarizing rhetoric. Very angry, always provocative, very controversial, so he divides the public. We don't know if the next administration will continue or whoever will be the next leader will continue this kind of leadership and rhetoric and threats to the media. So it's hard to say kung magtutuloy pa rin.
Siguro, we just need to clear, no? Yung disinformation, misinformation, hindi lamang naman nauso nung Duterte administration. Okay? It is not something new. It has been happening since the time of the Spaniards, no? Philippine-American War, during the Japanese occupation, especially during the Marcos era, no, and even post-dictatorship no, administrations. Kasi yung ganitong tawag lang natin sa kanya dati is propaganda, 'di ba? Nga parang binigyan lang siya ng bagong pangalan eh. Binigyan lang siya ng tinatawag na fake news. Pero hindi siya bago, 'di ba? Ang game changer lang talaga is social media. No, social media made it easier for people to see it, to read it, at mas naging accessible talaga siya. No, at ginamit yung social media platform to spread yung misinformation and disinformation. But it is not something new. So if it's been there since time immemorial, it will always be there. No, tyrannical rules or regimes, administrations will always use propaganda to stay in power, to make them look good, 'di ba? Syempre, no, magsasona yan, magre-report yan eh. So lagi it will always be there. Kaya nga lang ngayon, nandito na yung social media. So at ang social media hindi naman siya mawawala. Kasi kasama na yan ng technology, 'di ba? Hindi naman siya mawawala eh. So ang question sa atin as responsible citizens, what do we do with social media? 'Di ba? Ganun siya. So, yun lang yung I think yun yung ano ko doon.
Thank you po. Last question ko po. There have been a lot of manifestations po about how our society have shifted from being proactive members to being results-based individuals po. So, how do we get people to care again? Kasi I think hindi na lang po divided yung country into the pro and anti-disinformation. Pero there's a larger population out there na wala na lang pong pakialam, either because they are scared or because they are not being affected directly po by what is happening. So aside po from being agents of going against disinformation, how do we bring back the care na meron po dati yung mga taong to?
Will we make press freedom issue resonate among the masses?
I don't think that's your question. No, anyway, can I answer how do you make people care again? It's not just the job of the journalist, no, but maybe what we can do is biggest challenge I think facing journalists is how do we tell the story so that people care. Yun yung laging challenge, as one of our editors at Rappler always says, okay, you've got a story, you've got the complete 5 W's and 1 H. The big question is, so what? No, how will I make the story appeal to people? So yun yung challenge. And there are ways to respond to this challenge. There are ways of telling stories. Multimedia na ngayon. There's an array of tools. And there's a way of writing ngayon online. You can use document, short video. Ang dami-dami na. So I think that will be a challenge that it will be faced, I think, adequately by us. But as I said, hindi lang role ng journalist yan.
Hindi ata dapat maging trabaho yun ng iilang tao kasi you're not passive. Kumbaga, you're supposed to be part of this country naman. So you're enjoying the freedoms na dito. Hindi dapat aasahan na may gagalaw para mag-care kayo. Parang hindi ba default yon sa lahat? Kung iniisip natin na kailangan pang merong may gumawa, na ay dapat i-convince muna nila ako, parang hindi mo ginagawa yung trabaho mo as a Filipino. Kasi kung ini-enjoy mo yung freedoms, dapat meron ka ding binibigay doon.
Pagka ganyan yung tanong, excited ako palagi sumagot, kaya nangaagaw ko ng mic kanina. Sabi ng We Social, no? Sa Pilipinas, 58% ay nasa internet, no? Tapos, syempre, ang number 1 activity ay social media. But, tandaan natin na yung the other almost the other half of the Philippines wala sa social media. Okay? So, ang sagot dyan is, social media is not the world. No? Labas tayo sa social media. We turn off our phones sometimes, turn off yung data, and we go outside. No? Punta tayo sa mga communities, know their stories, know how they think, ano yung ginagawa nila, ano yung pang-araw-araw na buhay nila, yung mga pamilya ng natukhang, sino ba talaga sila? Kasi sa social media mo lang sila nakikita, di ba? Iyak-iyak, ganyan. Devastated, pero sino ba talaga sila? Ano ba talaga yung storya ng mga buhay nila? So, I think very important for us to step out of social media para malaman natin yung sagot dyan. There is a lot more outside social media.
Okay, we have time for one last question. Sorry, dito na lang tayo. Tapos, yung mga hindi nakapagtanong, pwede nyo lang pong i-tweet ang ating mga panelists at susubukan po talaga nilang sumagot sa inyo on Twitter or, on Twitter. Sige.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Jommy Kirshani-Lisa mula po incoming grade 12 STEM student po sa Kolehiyo San Agustin Binyan. Ang tanong ko lang po is addressed to any one of you, pero I want to hear po the perspectives po of the campus journalists. So, ang tanong ko lang po is, how will the National Schools Press Conference or NSPC can address this specific issue of disinformation and misinformation?
Ayan, so actually dito sa NSPC natin, makikita yung mga budding journalists natin na in the future, itong mga batang sumasali dito ay magiging involved sa field of journalism. So, sana yung sa NSPC mismo na nai-inculcate, natatanim sa mga future journalists yung pag-uphold ng journalism standards, journalism ethics, para once they go into the field, mapapractice talaga nito at makikita yung importance ng pag-uphold ng journalism standards and ethics. Kasi yun nga yung magiging difference natin sa mga nagpapalaganap ng fake news. Kasi the things that we publish really ay nag-undergo ng sobrang tedious na process, and parang sa tingin ko nga na parang na mockery sa news writing, yung mga pag-publish ng fake news na hindi naman nag-undergo ng verification, ng data gathering, ganyan. Kasi as journalist talaga, 'di ba, tayo din naman sa LB Times sa Perspective, na-experience natin to, yung hirap nung pagpunta mismo sa mga community, sa mga lugar, at really makipag-usap sa mga tao. Tapos parang yung mga napapublish na fake news, parang where do they even get their facts? Tapos parang mockery siya sa atin bilang journalist and sa tedious process na kailangan nating i-go through. So, ayun.
Gusto kong mag-crossover from being a moderator to somebody who will ask questions. In sa Move PH, we've been covering NSPC then. We've seen it really, dapat hindi siya i-consider. Ang ngayon kasi the problem is it's being considered as a competition. Parang nagiging lang siya ng medals. So parang the campus journalists are looking at it as, mananalo, competition na lang siya, but yung principles of journalism, siguro we have to start our campus journalists early. We have to inculcate na as early as them, hindi lang to basta competition. You have an important role to play in the society, especially in your local community. Siguro yun yung mas kailangan nating tulungan yung mga kids na maintindihan yun yung role nila. Hindi lang sila basta magsusulat to win, but also to uphold yung responsibility of journalists. Ayun guys. Biglang ko.
Maaari po ba naming makuha po yung perspective pa ni Miss Panelo?
Special.
Baka maging unfair ako dun sa NSPC kasi hindi ako nagpa-participate. So, pero tama naman yung, I think I will agree with Raisa dun sa sinasabi niya na it should not just be a competition. Katulad nung sinasabi ko kanina, yung media and information literacy should really start kahit sa mga kahit elementary. Kasi dapat nai-inform na sila about ano yung magiging role ba nila, no? Kung future journalist sila, ano yung magiging role nila sa society. So, I think yun yung pinakamagandang magiging pagmomold ng NSPC sa mga campus budding journalists.
Okay, maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Okay. Guys, patapos na yung forum, hindi pa late para i-send niyo yung mga takeaways niyo online. Sino ba to? Magbabasa ako ng konting tweets. Si at rule of the RDS. Ano ba to? Sabi niya, would fight and defend for press freedom despite what is happening today. Sino yon? Sino yung nag-tweet? Ayaw niyang Sino yung nag-tweet? Ayaw niyang sabihin kung nandito siya. So, ayan, no? May mga pledges coming from our participants, and then meron ding nanonood sa live stream. Sabi, yes naman, Mars at Julian Afable. So, meron kang fan na nanonood ng live stream. Ayan. Okay. At this point, I would like to call my boss, Stacy, to award our certificates to our panelists.
Okay, I'll just read isa and then Rappler, the Journalism for Nation Building Foundation, and the CDC Department of Development Journalism presents this certificate of appreciation to Marites Vitug of Rappler.com, Ms. Dabet Castañeda Panelo of NUJP, to the Department of Development Journalism in UP Los Baños, and the Department of Social Science, College of Arts and Sciences at UP Diliman, Ricarda Villar of Los Baños Times, Julian Afable of UPLB Perspective, for imparting their valuable insights and for giving their unwavering support as partners that greatly contributes to the success of Facts Matter PH Laguna, Disinformation and Online Threats to Press Freedom and Democracy Forum, given this 23rd day of April 2018 at the New College of Arts and Sciences Auditorium, University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Laguna, Philippines. Thank you.
May we call on the Department Chair of Department of Development Journalism of CDC to hand this certificate, and for the Department of Social Science, which is spearheaded by Mr. Dwight Jastro. Please come on stage so that we can give the certificates to you. Thank you very much once again.
Ayan, Shelo. So, as much as we want this forum to go a bit longer, ano, pero unfortunately, may time restrictions tayo. However, meron silang pwedeng gawin to still ask questions na ano ulit yung hashtag natin, Shelo?
Hashtag FactsMatterPH space Laguna. And yun guys, kung meron man kayong mga hindi nasabi or na-import na knowledge dito sa forum natin, you can do that on Twitter using that hashtag. And ongoing pa rin yung live stream natin on their Facebook page, on their YouTube page, and the front page of Rappler.com.
And so, syempre, hindi natatapos sa forum natin ngayon yung event na to. Meron tayong workshop later on sa CDC LR1. Ayan, so sa DevCom, sa College of DevCom LR1. So for details, punta na lang tayo doon later, mga 1 p.m. Ayan, so I guess it is the time to formally close our program.
So to deliver us closing remarks, let us call on the Chair of UPLB CDC Department of Development Journalism, Professor Kabzil Sheva Katapang.
Good morning. So we are happy that you were able to come to this forum. I think marami tayong natutunan, tama ba? And at the very least, I think what we can do is to get involved. In this time and age of disinformation and misinformation, I think we all have a role to play. And it is just a matter of deciding, pinag-uusapan ba whose side are you on? Diba? Kung nga dapat na lang nating pag-usapan is what can we do? So yung mga nag-aaral ng journalism, we are familiar with the 5 Ws and 1 H. So i-apply natin yon when we look at social media posts. Sino ang nag-post nito? Kailan pa ba yung information? Is this dated? Saan ito sinishare? Is it in a public group? In a closed group? And then think, what strategies can we use in order to possibly sway or correct the wrong information being shared by perhaps our family members, perhaps by our friends, people who are dear to us. Before we can really affect change to a larger scale, I think we should start with our small groups. And small groups working together can have big impact. And at this time of threats, we all need courage. So according to the dictionary, courage is strength with during a time of grief, pain, and adversity. Related words sa courage ay bravery, daring, boldness, nerve, and then valor, heroism, and gallantry. So no matter what we do, no matter the size of our effort, no matter how small what we can do, we do it with courage. Mahirap man sa umpisa, especially if you're arguing perhaps with family members, but when you think of the greater good that your small act of courage can do, then we should be empowered. So thank you for coming to this event. We hope to see you later in the forum at DevCom. And of course, we hope to see more of you on social media spreading good. So we use social media for good and not to help spread hate and disinformation. Yun lang po, maraming salamat and magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Ms. Kabzil. Guys, to everyone who participated in this forum, we thank you and I hope you guys have a great day ahead. So this has been Shelo.
And my name is Brian. Maraming salamat sa pagpunta and see you later sa workshops at DevCom.
Good day, everyone.